Okay, we're going to do a quick video today to help you work out where your check brake pad error is coming from. So sometimes when you saw it on the dash there, it's just disappeared. So sometimes you'll look at your pads and they'll be fine, and it's actually the sensor. So I'll just give you a quick introduction of what we've done to fix it on the car we've got in the workshop today. Trusty old shorty. Basically you've got two brake pad sensors on the car. So one of them is on the front left-hand side wheel, and we'll show you where that one is now. So basically you can see here we've got the wheel off, and basically you've got several cables coming down here. Most of you will know all this stuff, but you've got your hydraulic cable, and then you've got one of the electrical cables goes down into the hub, and that's obviously the ABS sensor. It's the one that goes round over the caliper and actually into the brake shoes here. That is the brake pad sensor. And if you follow that wire up, right, it goes into this little box here. So there's a little box in the inner wheel arch, and what you've got, whoops, you got these two little clips on the top, and if you just lever them up a little bit there, lever the back edge up, you can hopefully see the little clips, how they work there. And you've got the two connectors there. So the upper connector is the ABS sensor, the bottom one here, and you can just pull it out of this cradle. Right, I'm going to have to swap hands here, give Tom the camera. And there's a little button you've got to press in here to release these. Okay, if you pull that. And what you can do there is you can see you've released that. Now, so there are two diagonally opposite brake pad sensors, one on the front left hand wheel, one on the right hand wheel. Now often you're not sure which one's giving you the problem, so the easiest way to test it is actually to get a trusty paper clip there. Can you see that? We've got a trusty paper clip. Open him out so you've got two pins, and basically when there's continuity, when there's a circuit through the brake pad circuit, then it will be happy and it'll be okay. So what you can do is, just for debugging, obviously I'm not recommending you do this on a car that you're driving, but just to check whether the fault's on the front or the rear, you can put that into there, okay, or you could likewise just touch it on the two pins at the front here, okay, and then we can go and check the car and see if that clears the fault. So we'll do that now. Okay, so we've put that bridging link in the front sensor, but we don't know if that's the one that was responsible for the fault. So what we now do is come back inside the car and turn the ignition on. Now we've still got the check brake pads fault there, okay, and the other thing to notice is we've still got this light here, which is the brake and the exclamation light there, okay. Now if we leave it about 20 seconds, if the fault is fixed, that light, that brake light, will go off, but you need to wait a while. Okay, so we'll just keep waiting. Yeah, now you see that's gone off now. Now what you've got to do is when you turn the ignition off, right, it'll still say check brake pads, but don't worry about that, that's just stored. So now if we turn the ignition back on, okay, there we go, that's fixed it. The light's gone out over here, there's no check brake pad warning. So you have to cycle the ignition twice to clear the fault. So we can now see that we've fixed the fault on the front wheel brake sensor, or there is a fault in that sensor, or the brake pads are low, by doing that process. Now if that process doesn't fix it, what you need to do is repeat the process for the rear. Now the rear one is slightly more difficult to get to, so we'll just show you how to do the rear one. Okay, now, so remember there's only one rear wheel sensor, and that's on the right hand rear wheel. Okay, so if we come down and have a look, what we've got here is we've got the sensor coming in here to the pads on the rear caliper. Okay, and if we follow the lead up, do you want to just shine the lights on? It goes up the wishbone, round the back, and it comes round under here. Now there should be a wheel arch liner fitted here, but for the video we've removed that to make it easier to see. But what you're looking for here is this little box, and it's right above this rear mount here, okay, and it's the same as the front one. You've got the two little clips Okay, that exposes your two connectors. And again, the blue one at the bottom here is the ABS sensor. It's the black one we want, which is the brake pad sensor. And we can just pull that out. Okay, and again, there's a little tab we've got to push there. So we can do this with one hand. Have a go. Oh, yep, there we go. Right, and pull that out. Okay, and then what you need to do is you just put the paper clip in to the two pins there, or link those two pins there, and see if that clears the fault. And again, you'll need to do the thing where you turn it on, leave it for 20 seconds, see if it clears the fault, and then turn the ignition on again. So you don't need to go to a main dealer to get it reset after you've repaired the fault. It will reset itself. Okay, so I hope that helps you sort out your check brake pads, but I will emphasize, make sure your brake pads are good. Your brake pad sensor may not be faulty and may be telling you your brake pads are worn, so obviously check that first. Hope that helps.